There's no doubt that Superbad became a favorite comedy movie for many people, but here are some mistakes in Superbad fans probably didn't catch. Setting the car on fire. Superbad is one of the most hilarious movies of all time, but like all movies, there were some mistakes in the movie that were either overlooked or resolved while shooting. For today's video, we'll be looking at the mistakes that were overlooked and included in the film, and yet fans failed to spot those mistakes. Well, unless you've seen the movie with a lot of attention to detail, we're sure that you might have missed some of the mistakes that we're going to be talking about. First and foremost, do you remember the scene where Seth Rogen, who plays the role of Officer Michaels, is supposed to set a car on fire? Well, in this scene, Seth Rogen was not actually supposed to throw the cocktail at the car, and instead a member of the crew who was standing 10 feet away from the car was supposed to do so. However, despite being only 10 feet away, this crew member failed to aim at the car and ended up missing the spot where he was supposed to hit. Since the scene could not be shot again for some reason, the directors decided to work with what they had and to make a few edits to make the scene look believable. Therefore, what you see in the movie as a cocktail being thrown at the car was actually supposed to be something else. But before we get into more details about mistakes in Superbad fans probably didn't catch, if you're liking our content so far, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification button so you can get notified every time we post a new video, and that way you can stay updated about some interesting details about your favorite movies and TV shows that you probably didn't notice. Seth's character. Seth is obviously the guy around whom the plot of Superbad revolves. While Jonah Hill did a tremendous job of portraying Seth's character, the initial plans were not in favor of giving Jonah Hill the role of Seth. When Jonah Hill wrote the script of the movie, he always knew that he resonated with Seth's character and could embody it perfectly. However, the other people who were present at the set of Superbad seemed to think otherwise. The majority of the cast and crew members were of the opinion that Jonah Hill was too old to play Seth's character. They believed that since Jonah Hill was 23 years old, he was too old to portray the character of a high schooler. However, since Jonah Hill was pretty adamant, he recorded an audition tape of himself, and when the directors finally saw it, they immediately became convinced that Hill was the guy for the role. Before casting him in the role of Seth, they even made him audition for the role of Francis the driver. Well, we're glad they saw the audition tape, since Superbad is undoubtedly the movie that put Jonah on the map in Hollywood, and made him the star that he is today. If it was not for Superbad, we probably would not see Jonah Hill starring in 24th Jump Street. Fake ID. A movie about underage kids usually involves a bunch of kids trying their best to get alcohol and getting fake IDs in the process. While the process usually involves asking someone else to make a fake ID, the kids in Superbad decided to go a different direction and make it themselves. As a result, Trevor ends up making a fake ID for himself and even goes to the extent of changing his name to McLovin. At first, if you look at the fake ID, it seems like Trevor has done a pretty good job and will not end up getting caught. However, the problem is not with how authentic the fake ID looks. Rather, it is with the fact that as the movie progresses and Trevor's fake ID is being seen used again, we see a completely different fake ID. The fake ID that's spotted first is the one that happens to have a white background. However, as the scenes progress, we see the fake ID again, and the background of the fake ID seems to have black lettering on it, in addition to the white background. Well, we guess they did end up making a few updates to the fake ID with the hopes that fans probably wouldn't notice what was going on. Dance with a bottle? Well, when Seth is finally able to get what he wants and ends up dancing with a girl from his school, there's something wrong in this scene that a lot of people probably didn't notice. When the scene starts out, Seth and the girl are spotted at a party where they seem to be having a good time and the girl's dancing with Seth, with a bottle of beer in her hand. However, as the scene continues and the two keep on dancing, the beer bottle that was in the girl's hand seems to have disappeared. We know you must be thinking that she might have just kept the bottle somewhere, but only a few seconds later, the bottle seems to have reappeared in the girl's hand out of the blue. Kind of a strange series of events, don't you think? We're sure that this scene must have been shot multiple times for the directors to have made this mistake. Well, here's our take on some of the mistakes in Superbad that fans probably might have missed. Let us know in the comments below if you can think of any more mistakes that were in the movie.